What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about TOSHI today. It is the 15th day of August, and here we are at about $0.00074 with 22 hours and 13 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it. All right, here we are. Looking like we've kind of got this bearish M pattern going on, maybe. You know, we could be forming that. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I personally think Toshi's going to continue to move up, but it has that look to it right now. If we're looking at this here from a relative high to low, right, this overall long-term consolidation phase that we've had, we're being pretty damn constructive with this, right? Up to the 236, consolidated around here, up to the 382, up to the 0.5, found support at the 382, golden ratio, found support at the 382.5 area. I have to admit, this lower low is a bit unorthodox, but whatever, we'll take it. You moved up higher, you had a higher high nonetheless, so what we're looking for now is a higher low. So something at the golden ratio stands out to me, 0.00676, right? That level there, 30676, sounds about right to me. You could find support and then continue to rally. Or maybe you'll go lower down here, something like that, but I would anticipate a higher low. So looking at the fibs, it alleviates that, I don't want to say pressure, that fear that we could see some kind of M pattern, but it's something to be aware of. We don't want to go below here. Going below there likely would take us back down to these lows, and I think as long as we're above this low here, we should be fine. In fact, let's throw a little bit more on there to help define that. From a low to high here, if we get below 306 on a daily closing basis, then I'd be a little bit concerned. Okay, then I'd be concerned that we could go below here. It's very possible that we go down to 306. Why is it not letting me? Hold on a price basis, but on a daily closing basis, we don't want to go below there, right? Like, yeah. And I don't even know if we do that. I doubt we get below 306 at all. We might not even get near that area, but something around 30676 is what I would expect at the moment. Let's look at the short-term stuff, and then we'll zoom back out to the daily. Looking at the 1 hour time frame here. Volume came in to the downside. Volume's died off a little bit. You haven't gone anywhere. Kind of looks like a BART, right? Like a BART pattern. You just haven't BARTed up yet. You'll probably BART up. BARTs are kind of hard to predict. Honestly, they really are, because who's to say this is a BART? Maybe it's the Canadian hockey stick of death, and then we go lower. Shout out to the people up north from where I am. You know, where I'm at, it's considered like northern. Maybe not. It's like really the heart of the United States. Colorado, that's like the center, man. It really is the center, but it's more north than Texas, I suppose. Anyways, looking at this here, we are finding resistance. I don't know why I'm talking so much, but we're finding resistance at prior support here. So again, if we were to go lower, it's not a problem. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, yeah, the 1 hour RSI kind of sucks. We got lower lows, lower highs. Maybe move up a little higher first, but still come down, form a higher low, and get some bullish divergence going. Higher low on your RSI with a lower low in the price. You could go a little lower. So yeah, 30676, is that what it was? That's the area that I think we'll go to, even if you go a little bit higher than here. Stochastics are at an area where if you reject, that would promote lower prices. And the MACD, who cares? It's the 1 hour, who cares? Looking at the 4 hour time frame, MACD is actually in an area where you would expect to bounce, but you could go lower first, and you could stall here for a few days. It is the 4 hour time frame, so you could stall here for a few days and still get that bounce off this zero, which would be pretty good. Stochastics did bounce pretty well off the oversold zone, but you didn't carry on, or at least you haven't really yet. Let's see how this 4 hour time frame goes. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if you moved up a little bit more, but still anticipating that you go down. So if you're watching this video and we're up above, we're at like 3074 right now. If we're at like 3076, that doesn't absolve us from 3067. We're probably, very likely, I would say, going down to that area. Let me look at these Ethereum liquidations real quick, because Ethereum's moving up a little bit. Not really piling on too many longs. I mean, yeah, we have some longs piled on, but we're right at the edge of breaking this barrier, going up to probably like 46.76. I don't know. Will you do it, ETH? Will you do it? You know, I have these diagonal trend lines drawn. Oftentimes, it's like just above the trend line that you find resistance, but you kind of did that already, and now you're still coming up. So maybe this is an actual breakout of this trend overall. You're getting some kind of, it does look like a Adam and Eve-esque kind of pattern. Maybe we move back up and then we come back down. I don't know. False hope for the people, and then we drop lower. Maybe we just drop from here. I don't know. Focusing on ETH, because what ETH does dictate a lot of what altcoins do, though Toshi kind of does its own thing. 4 hour time frame overall, near areas of support, but not quite there. Saying the same thing as the 1 hour, a little bit lower to go, and I like that 30676 area specifically. Daily time frame, stochastics are coming out. That actually doesn't look good. And when I say that doesn't look good, let me correct myself, okay? it means that we're going to zero. No, that's not what it means. It means that we'll probably just chill for a little bit, right? This correction, maybe we hit the low soon, but we're not going to just rip through the roof right afterwards. I mean, maybe. You never know. But I would think, rejection off the overbought zone coming out here, maybe you cool off on the MACD a little bit. I would think that we probably consolidate in this area between 306 and 307, maybe between now and the end of this week and even going into next week. And then finishing up this month, we should be rallying, seeing higher prices. Maybe not quite at new all-time highs, but pushing that barrier, right? And now let's talk about the exciting stuff, talking about pushing that barrier. Overall, Toshi, you're in a very fantastic position. You've done pretty damn well since April 7th, better than most altcoins, right? You're definitely in a really good position here. Yes, this week looks like crap, not going to lie. It does look pretty bad. Just because you've got the wick to the upside and you're closing down like this, it's not an ideal week. But you've had weeks like this before. You've had a bearish week before, and then you ate it up. You had a week like this before, and then you ate it up. So these bearish appearing weeks, they're actually, I guess, foreshadowing of good things to come. Let's see if we can find this on MEXC, see if we have a similar result, something with more historical data. Come on now, TradingView. We got the 3 dots of lagging. Yeah, bearish candle there. Boom, you pumped. Bearish candle here, you dumped. Bearish candle there, you pumped. I mean, in these bullish times, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Who cares? Looking at this from a high to a low, again, talking about the exciting stuff, not the irrelevant stuff. When it comes time to breaking higher, and we know it'll be time to break higher because your weekly time frame will close above 30911. When we see a weekly time frame close above 30911, it's time to start thinking about the land of the 2 zeros, 20137, 2017, and even new all-time highs, right? Inevitably, by the end of this next rally, which I predict will end sometime in September, if not October, we'll have 2045 to 1 cent, somewhere in there. That should be the area that we find resistance at, the little box of glory, our glory box, if you will. And I'm expecting personally we'll find resistance right here in the middle, in this little hole inside the glory box, your glorious hole right there. That's where we'll go, right to 2063, or more likely something like 2069 or 207, 007, right? That's kind of my expectation. So I don't have anything else that I want to say. I'm kind of curious. I want to do this real quick. Let's see. Let's just see if we find any things lining up with this. I'm going to take 3 different fibs here, right? Discernible all-time high to significant low there. High to low right here, and then also a high to low here. I just want to see if any of these fib levels line up with the area that we're talking about or considering. Because again, the area that I'm considering, it's right here, yeah. Look, you got the top of one money zone, the very first fib, high to low, that very first pivot. The top of that money zone is right there in that same area. The money zone for this most relevant fib, this lower kind of high to low right here, this lesser fib than the all-time high to low, it lines up right there as well. Yeah, you've got some pretty significant areas. Even on the lower end at that 004, 005 area, 0045, 005 area. Yeah. I highly doubt, just looking at this, I highly doubt that we do get to 1 cent, but there's a lot suggesting we will see at least a half a cent, if not higher. Anything and everything on the lines of like a larger than 5x move, I would expect. Let's see. How much would that be? Yeah, it's like a 6x move or more. Maybe an 8, 9x move, even a 10x move is possible. So that's awesome, man. Toshi outperforming the markets so far since April 7th, probably going to continue to outperform the markets on this next leg up. We're just being patient, being good little boys and girls, waiting, sitting on our hands, and definitely not hitting the sell button, only hitting the buy button whenever it's time, right? And I actually think that this is a good time right now. You probably do go a little bit lower, though, with that being said. Even here, if you can't hold yourself back, I think buying here is fine. Just don't sell if it goes lower, right? Maybe buy more or just hold. That move is insignificant compared to what's coming, okay? Just think about it like that. Have that conversation with yourself. If you're giddy, you just got your paycheck, you've been wanting to buy Toshi, but you couldn't buy it back here because your paycheck didn't come in until today, and you missed your chance, and now you want to buy because it discounted. Just have that conversation with yourself where you're like, if I buy here and it goes down, I will not sell. As long as you're aware of that, because having that conversation, at least for me, it helps. It helps. Because sometimes you're eager to buy, and then, I shouldn't even say sometimes, oftentimes when you're eager to buy, price action has a different expectation than what you do. And having that expectation mismatch, it can unsettle you. So don't get unsettled. Don't put yourself in a position where you'll be unsettled, right? Have that conversation with yourself. Anyways, hit the like button. Thank you all. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.